Namaskar. Welcome to the 69th episode of Granthyatra. Today we are going to discuss Vijay Tendulkar's play Shantata, Kort, Chalu, Aahe or Silence, the Court is in Session. This play that fearlessly depicts the violence, abnormality and ugliness in human mind and in human life proved to be a milestone in Marathi literature. Vijay Tendulkar was born in the year 1928 in Mumbai. His father was a publisher, writer and an amateur actor-director. Tendulkar did his schooling in Mumbai, Pune and Kolhapur. But more than the school education, the love of literature nurtured in his home proved to be more inspiring for him. For his livelihood, Tendulkar wrote in newspapers and edited magazines. But his true calling was creative writing. He began his playwriting with a single-act play called Ratra or Night. This was followed by The Python and Pixie and Coward and other one-act plays. Subsequently, his plays The Rich, An Island Called Man, The Walls in Between, Wax House of the Sparrow, I Win, I Lose, School of Crows and An Obstinate Girl appeared on the stage. The play Silence, the Court is in Session that made him famous across India was first performed in 1967. It was conferred with the Kamaladevi Chattopadhyay Award. Tendulkar's later plays such as Here Come the Birds, Vultures, Sakharam Binder and Ghashiram Kotwal created a sensation in Marathi theatre. In addition, Tendulkar also wrote plays for children, some light essays and translated some plays from other languages. In 1967, Tendulkar was coaxed by the operators of Rangayan, a group that performed experimental plays, to write a new play for the upcoming state theatre competition. The result was the play Silence, the Court is in Session. Superficially, the plot of the play appears deceivingly simple. A theatre group in Mumbai travels to a small town to perform an extempore scene of a court case. Since there is ample time before the actual performance begins, the group decides to have a practice session. Instead of the court case that they plan to enact at the actual performance in the evening, the group decides to practice with some other case to avoid monotony and boredom, and at the same time practice improvisation of their extempore dialogues. On this background begins a cruel and merciless game. One of the members in this theatre group is a young female teacher, Leela Benare. She is somewhat different from the others, more educated and unmarried. She does not hesitate to speak with men and lives life on her own terms. As a result, others in the group are jealous of her and harbor a mild hatred towards her. In the very first act of the play, Benare introduces herself in the following words. I am used to teaching while standing. I never teach sitting in a chair. I can thus keep an eye on the entire class. No one can do any mischief. I am in control of the class and the students are loyal to me. My students will do anything for me because I give my 100% when teaching them. That is why others are jealous of me, especially the women teachers and the management. But what can they do to harm me? What? At the most, what will they do? They have instituted an inquiry. I have excelled in teaching. I put my soul into teaching. I have worn out my body in this job. What can they do just because one charge has been proved? Will they dismiss me? Let them. I haven't hurt anyone, not a single person. If I have hurt anyone at all, I have hurt only myself. But is that charge serious enough for a dismissal? Who are they to decide what I do with myself? My life is my own. I haven't sold it to anyone for the sake of a job. My will is my own. I am the sole owner of my wishes. No one can kill them. No one. I will live life the way I want. But Benare is made the accused for the sake of the rehearsal and is charged with the serious crime of infanticide. The persons who are acting as the lawyer, the judge and the witnesses join hands to plot against Benare. Rumors, some exaggeration of facts, and even the narrative from a book of fiction are presented as sensational evidence against Benare. They convince themselves and others that their perverted desire to watch the helplessness of a cornered woman is actually a debate on an issue of social importance. What begins as a light-hearted rehearsal of an extempore court scene soon takes a serious turn. In her real life, Benare has suffered a relationship breakup and is pregnant. She has also unsuccessfully tried to get into an arranged marriage to secure social acceptance for her yet-to-be-born child. But using the pretext of the extempore court scene, the people who know Benare in her real life try to publicly censure her personal life. Each person in the theatre group is a coward who leads an extremely ordinary life. Yet, when they join hands against a woman in distress, they lose their timidity and don the spunk of a mob mentality. They come together as a band of hunters and get ready to hunt down Miss Benare. Through satirical dialogues of the characters in this play, Tendulkar strongly criticizes the double standards of the society. Look at this dialogue by the character who acts as the lawyer and who holds only the woman responsible for her pregnancy. Sukhatme. Motherhood is pious. For example, there is a huge grandeur in the concept of motherhood. We consider woman as the mother of the universe. Our culture has always worshipped her. We teach our children that mother is like God right from their childhood. A mother has a huge responsibility. At times, she even sacrifices her life to protect and nurture her infant. After proving Miss Benare's so-called crime with the help of testimonials from others, the same lawyer proclaims her guilty of getting pregnant outside wedlock. The character of the accused is very dangerous. Her value system has totally collapsed. Not only that, she has also acted in a way that contravenes social and moral values. The accused is the number one enemy of society. However, it soon becomes clear from Benare's soliloquy that she is more sinned against than a sinner and has been a victim of a man's crime. She says, "I again fell in love, this time in adult life, with absolute sincerity. I believed it was different this time, that this was intentional, that this love was for an extraordinary intellect. In fact, it was not even love, it was worship." But again the same mistake. The body became an offering for the worship practiced by the mind, and having partaken that offering, my intelligent God walked away. He did not care for my mind or my worship. He did not. He was never a God. He was just a man all along, a man who cared only for the body. But no one points fingers at this man. No one questions him about his act or holds him accountable for his behavior. They only hold the woman guilty and support the decision to dismiss her from her job by wrongly connecting the incidents in her personal life to her professional career. Tendulkar then poses some questions to the contemporary society through Benare's words. There should be an inquiry instituted against life itself, and life should be dismissed from job. But why? Why? Did I compromise in my work? I always put my heart and soul into teaching the children and enjoyed it. I was aware that life is not easy, that people can be very cruel. Even our blood relatives are not willing to understand us. Only one thing is acceptable to all: the body. It's true even if you deny it. Everyone thinks that emotions are just something to talk about when you feel low. I could see all that. I was living all that. I was burning inside. But does anyone know that I did not teach this to those tender lives? I digested that poison alone, but I never let its shadow touch them even momentarily. I taught them beauty and purity. I made them laugh while I cried inside. I helped them become optimistic, though I was being crushed with despair inside. For what crime are you robbing me of my job, my only solace? My personal life is my problem. I will decide its course, just as everyone should be able to do for himself or herself. Just as Benare's co-actors pronounced judgment against her under the cover of an extempore enactment of a court scene, in real life too, society seems to appropriate the powers to judge others with whom they are not even connected. Today, we have with us Professor Narendra Arekar, who will talk to us about the play Silence, the Court is in Session, that brings into focus this troublesome social reality.
नमस्कार. शांतता कोर्ट चालू आहे या नाटकाच्या 1967च्या पहिल्या आवृत्तीच्या प्रस्तावनेत नाटक कसे लिहू नये याचा वस्तुपाठ ठरावा अशा परिस्थितीत आणि अशा पद्धतीने हे नाटक लिहिले गेल्याची सुतोवाच स्वतः विजय तेंडुलकर करतात. तर हे नाटकच नाही म्हणत राज्य नाट्य स्पर्धेच्या प्राथमिक फेरीतच परीक्षक या नाटकाला बाद ठरवितात. परंतु पुढे मराठी हिंदीसह विविध 16 भारतीय भाषांत रंगभूमीवर हे नाटक सादर होतं आणि इंग्रजीसह परदेशी भाषांमध्ये चित्रपटाद्वारे झळकण्याचा बहुमानही या नाटकाला प्राप्त होतो. तेंडुलकरांच्या लेखनाला 60-70च्या दशकाची पार्श्वभूमी आहे. त्या काळात असंतोषाचं, अनादराचं आणि प्रस्थापितांविरोधात बंड पुकारण्याचं वातावरण होतं. याच वातावरणाची निरीक्षणं त्यांनी आपल्या लिखाणातून मांडली. नात्यांचा आणि व्यवस्थेचा ऱ्हास कसा होत आहे हे शांतता कोर्ट चालू आहे या त्यांच्या नाटकातून बघायला मिळतो. अभिरूप न्यायसभेचा खेळ करणारी मंडळी, त्यांना वाट दाखवणारा स्थानिक माणूस, गरीब सालस सामंत, एक हसरी खेडकर अल्लड दिशीतली बाई लीला बेणारे आणि इतर निरनिराळ्या पेशातली सुखात्मे, काशीकर, पोंक्षे, कर्णी, रोकडे, सौ काशीकर, आपल्या तुपल्यासारखी वाटणारी मध्यमवर्गीय माणसं अशी एकूण 8 पात्रे या नाटकात आहेत. एक बकालचा हॉल, प्रेक्षक जमायच्या आधी अभिरूप न्यायसभेची तालीम म्हणून एक अभिरूप न्यायालय भरवायचा विचार सर्वानुमते पुढे येतो. सर्वजण खुश होतात व आरोपी म्हणून लीला बेणारे यांच्यावर भ्रूणहत्येचा आरोप ठेवून खटला चालवला जातो. गंमत म्हणून सुरू झालेला अभिरूप न्यायालयाचा हा खेळ पुढे गंभीर रूप धारण करीत जातो. या समाविष्ट असलेल्या सगळ्या व्यक्ती लुटुपुटीच्या नव्हे तर आपल्या खऱ्याखुऱ्या आयुष्यातील भूमिका वठवीत जातात आणि लीला बेणारे या गुंतागुंतीत अडकून पडत आहेत हे जाणवत राहतं. रोकडेच्या साक्षीत प्रोफेसर दामले बेणारे संबंधाचा निर्देश होतात हे मला मान्य नाही, सांगून ठेवते. या खटल्याच्या खेळाशी याचा काय संबंध आहे? ही बेणारेची प्रतिक्रिया खटला अभिरूप नाही तर संबंधित व्यक्तीच्या प्रत्यक्ष जीवनाशी निगडीत आहे. त्यातच माझ्या खाजगी गोष्टी यात निघायचं काही एक कारण नाही. या प्रतिक्रियेची भर पडून खटल्याच्या अभिरूपाचा पडदा फाटतो. बेणारे आणि इतर पात्रांच्या संभाषणातील संघर्ष वैयक्तिक पातळीवर उतरून अभिरूपाचे वास्तवाच्या दिशेने स्थित्यंतर होते. विरंगुळा म्हणून काढलेल्या खेळात एका निष्पाप जीवाला सहज रक्तबंबाळ करण्या इतके समाजाच्या ठिकाणी असलेले अर्थशून्य, हेतुशून्य जे अमानुष क्रौर्य आहे, ज्या क्रौर्याच्या भयानकतेची जाणीवही त्या समाजाला नाही. केवळ जीवाची घटकावर करमणूक एवढाच अर्थ त्या अमानुष क्रौर्याला आहे आणि ही त्या समाजाची खरी शोकांतिका आहे व हीच शोकांतिका या नाटकातून साकारली आहे. हे नाटक 55 वर्षानंतर आजही ताजतवानं वाटतं, कारण समाज बदललेला नाही तर कैक पटीने अधिक हिंसाचारी झालेला आहे. अजूनही अनेक स्त्रिया अशा आहेत की ज्या व्यवस्थेच्या बळी ठरत आहेत. समाजाच्या नजरेत विवाहबाह्य संबंधाचा उलगडा झाल्यास स्त्रीलाच जबाबदार धरून तिलाच दोषी ठरवलं जातं आहे. लीला बेणारेने समाजाला नकार देऊन स्वतःचं भवितव्य स्वतः घडवण्याचं आव्हान स्वीकारलेलं नाही. ती तिच्या होणाऱ्या बाळासाठी बाप शोधते आहे. ती मनस्वी आहे म्हणून तिने समाजाच्या विरोधात प्रेम केलं. स्वतंत्र आहे, आपली म्हणून तिची काही मूल्य आहेत म्हणून नाही. अशाच पुरुषप्रधान व्यवस्थेत पिचल्या जाणाऱ्या अनेक स्त्रियांची कुचंबनाच या नाटकातून प्रकट होते असं वाटते. धन्यवाद.
Critics believe that all the characteristics visible in Tendulkar's other plays artistically come together in the play Silence, the Court is in Session. Do read this play that effectively depicts the dissonance, contradiction and irony between the outward talk and behavior of individuals and mobs and the flow of their conscience. We shall meet in the next episode of Granthyatra. to understand a novel based on conflict within the institution of family. Until then, keep reading.